Jones? Who is Jim Jones? Like, he's not on anyone's top 10 list. He's not like no one's top 10 list. Maybe not even his family.
Maybe niggas are scared to hustle because niggas are snitching so much. Maybe that's what's going on. I would be scared to hustle too when I know that every other nigga is snitching just so he don't want to do no time because he's can't bear to be inside the jail system.
Rapper Jim Jones is listed as a federal informant in court documents in the case against Tekashi. In the original court transcripts that were previously released online, the conversation between individual 1, Jim Jones, is listed as cooperating with federal agents in a conversation with Jamal Murder Jones, which would explain why Jim Jones has been able to have such a lengthy criminal record and avoid prison time in the past.
Jim Jones, who is he really? He's not on anyone's top 10 list, maybe not even in his own house. He's loud, he's active, but is he respected? That's been the question. And now, there's a much bigger one on the table. Is Jim Jones a federal informant? Because while everyone was caught up in Jim's recent shots at Nas, something else slipped back into the spotlight. Court documents from the Tekashi 6ix9ine case.
And as we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. Yeah. You understand?
Right.
And we here together.
I think we passed kneeling.
Let me play it again. This time, look at the reaction of the lady sat just behind him. The reason why she's worried about how Jay would respond is because she's the CEO of Rock Nation. But in her former life, she was a federal informant.
Where Jim's name shows up in the transcripts. Not as a bystander, not as a target, but as individual one, allegedly working with the feds. So now we're asking, how did Jim Jones survive a major federal takedown untouched?
Jim Jones, man. Hip-hop, of course, you know, is a competitive sport. But on the other end of it, it's like certain people shouldn't be able to say your names until they've done something in the genre of music. I've done too much in this music to even have to answer that question. Like, Jim Jones, who is Jim Jones? Like, he's not on anyone's top 10 list. He's like no one's top 10 list, maybe not even his family. I was saying last night, it's like the 8th guy on the bench just screaming at Jordan, like, you a bum. Like, you wanna be like the 9th guy on the bench. I'm not even worried about you.
While everyone else got wiped off the board. Let's rewind. But guess what? No charges. That's where the questions start piling up. How does a rapper with a known gang affiliation, caught on a federal wiretap suggesting violence, somehow walk away without even a court date? And this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is all in public court records. 50 Cent noticed. He posted about it, calling Jim out as Individual 1. Even Whack 100 came out swinging, straight up accusing Jim of cooperating. And 6ix9ine, he didn't hold back either. He went public, pointing fingers and asking the obvious, how is Jim still walking free? But here's where it gets even messier. Jay-Z.
Brooklyn rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to federal charges, admitting he participated in a violent gang. He also pledged to cooperate with prosecutors. The rapper, whose legal name is Daniel Hernandez, said he joined the 9 Trey Blood Gang in the fall of 2017. He says he helped them try to kill a rival gang member last March. Prosecutors say the gang carried out acts of murder, robbery, and narcotics trafficking in Manhattan, the Bronx, and Brooklyn. The indictment also said each gang member was required to participate in at least 2 acts of racketeering conspiracy, which could include murder, robbery, extortion, or drug distribution. The plea deal could allow Hernandez leniency at sentencing. He was facing a mandatory 47-year prison sentence.
Because after years of beefing with Jim, Jay signed him to Rock Nation. That alone confused fans. Jay once called Jim irrelevant, saying, he's not even top 10, maybe not even in his own family. He clowned him publicly. So why turn around and bring him in? Some people say it's strategy, a power move. Jay's been known to turn rivals into clients. Fat Joe, Meek Mill, the LOX, all former foes turned into allies. But in this case,
he definitely humiliating Shawty right now. But
well, you got your picture up there next to the post. You know, like when you go to YouTube and World Star, they got his picture next to this. Everything he say, they got a split screen with Shawty picture next to this. I said, this is crazy, son. But he's doing that to make K9 think he don't got no relationship with Boy. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to live. He's trying to separate himself.
That's cool, but now he gotta get violated.
Yeah, super violated. super duper. So ain't too much he can really do unless he gonna run around with 100 armed securities all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get shot at pay.
He ain't getting enough money for that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And he just canceled all his shows.
And he ain't a gang member no more.
Nah, he ain't nothing.
That's what Shotty needs to make sure he do.
Nah, we
tell that he's not a gang member no more. He kicked out the whip. He was never a gang member. Shotty need to expose him like that.
It might have been more about leverage than loyalty, because Jay's whole brand has been built around this code of the streets, anti-snitch, black excellence, honor, and yet his right-hand woman at Roc Nation, Desiree Perez, is a confirmed federal informant. Let that sink in. Desiree Perez, CEO of Roc Nation, was arrested in the 90s for moving 35 kilos of cocaine. She agreed to wear a wire for the DEA, and in 2021, Trump quietly wiped her criminal record clean with a presidential pardon. That's not speculation, that's public record. And it was Desiree, not Jay, who welcomed Jim Jones into the Roc Nation fold. So now you've got to ask, was Jay keeping Jim close as damage control? Was Roc Nation protecting its own brand image?
Jim Jones, right? He ran with the same I ran with a decade before I met him. Jim Jones, the Dipset, the that was just over there dancing on verses. Jim Jones was running with Shotty, Cafano Jordan, right? Mel Matrix, Jamel Jones, Road Murder, Roland Martin. He was running Fu Banger, Fuquan. I forgot his last name, Fuquan something. He was running with all of the cats I ran with and got in daddy for. You know what Jim Jones did? That nigga did not take care of none of them. Cause when I ran to them, Shotty was sleeping on the rug on Madison between Tompkins and Troop. Mel Murder was on Gates and Marcus Garvey with his baby mother. Roland Martin was just doing 9 years. He blew trial. That make them. That take care of them. From Shotty was sleeping on the rug, that driving a 6'3" Benz in 6 months, living in a condo, doing meetings with Kanye. Kanye was taking him to Yeezy meetings, board meetings. Matrix had his own, everything on his own. His kids was eating. Roland Martin came home to a new AP, watch, money, cars, everything. That Jim Jones did not take care of none of his. I took care of him. And on top of that, Jim Jones was caught on wiretap telling Jamel, look, Jim Jones was caught on wiretap. Jim Jones was caught on wiretap on my case, he was telling the big homie Mel Matrix, Jamel Jones, to go and get rid of my security. How you do it? How you shoot at them? They don't got no license to carry weapons, don't nothing in New York.
Wack also agrees with him and says that you can find the audio online because it was used in the trial. 6ix9ine and Wack both question why Jim Jones isn't in jail if he was caught on tape saying he was going to kill 6ix9ine, suggesting that he must have cooperated in the trial. 6ix9ine also starts making some accusations about Desiree Perez, the CEO of Roc Nation, but Wack shuts him down before he can say too much.
While hiding something darker underneath? And what about the beef that started it all? Back in the early 2000s, Jim and Cameron joined Rockefeller through Dame Dash, but things got tense fast. Jay didn't co-sign Cam's VP position at the label. Then Jay recorded a remix of Oh Boy, trying to use Dipset's hit to diss Nas. Cam cut the verse. Things got heated, the disrespect started flying. Jim went on to publicly call Jay soft, corporate, and out of touch. He mocked Jay's age, style, and approach to the streets. Jay mostly stayed quiet, until 2006, when Jim dropped We Fly High and Jay finally responded with Brooklyn High. The feud escalated. Jim called Jay an old head and even assaulted Jay's A&R, Lenny Santiago, in a Louis Vuitton store. The tension was real. But then, in a bizarre twist, Jim switched up. In 2017, after more than a decade of smoke, Jim posted a Roc Nation contract on Instagram. Then he started praising Jay, attending Roc Nation brunches, and suddenly, he was family. Why? Some say Jay extended the deal as a trap. Because like always, Jay doesn't act emotionally, he moves strategically. By signing Jim, Jay may have ensured that any future leaks, rumors, or fallout stayed contained within his own circle. But if Jim was working with the feds, that's a problem, because Jay's public image says otherwise. Jay speaks at criminal justice reform events. He leads meetings with black billionaires. He launched Reform Alliance with Meek Mill, but his own company is run by a former DEA informant, and now he's doing business with another guy who might be the same. If Jim was clean, why didn't he sue Whack 100 for defamation? Why didn't he clear his name with documents? He had years to do it. Silence doesn't equal guilt, but it doesn't look innocent either. And to top it all off, former Dipset affiliate Jaja said she has proof Jim set up his own friend Mel Murda on a wiretap. That's not street code, that's betrayal. So the real question isn't just did Jim snitch, it's why is Rock Nation filled with informants, and why does Jay-Z keep letting them in? Maybe Jay doesn't care who snitched, maybe he only cares who snitched for him. Let me know what you think. Is Jim Jones really a federal informant? And what does that say about Rock Nation if he is? Is Jay playing both sides, or is this just what it looks like when power means more than principle? Sound off in the comments. Let's talk about it.